Olá, meus amigos, bem-vindos a mais uma segunda-feira incrível, uma segunda-feira sim, nesta terceira temporada do ARTE com Propósito podcast. E eu hoje tenho uma amiga que conheci há tão pouco tempo, mas faz parte daquelas amigas que entraram e cresceram dentro do meu coração de uma forma muito forte. I'm going to speak in English now. I'm going to welcome you to my little humble space, ARTE com Propósito podcast. Thank you for coming here, my good friend. We've just met in April, but I think I know you for 10 years. Thank you for coming and chat about your life and your work with the people here from Portugal and, of course, from Brazil, because I have lots of people in Brazil and in the United States also. I hope they will love your music like I do. Thank you, Eliën.
Thank you for having me.
Baby, I have this curiosity about memories, childhood memories, concerning music and arts. How was your beginning in this earth? Do you remember anything, your memories?
I remember my first memory is actually a very vocal one, and it's a really weird one because I think I must have been about 3 or something, but I was at kindergarten, and it's literally as if my head went on there, and there were a lot of German kids talking to me because I am Dutch and my parents immigrated to Germany when I was 1. So I went to kindergarten when I was about 3, and I did not speak the language. I only heard Dutch around me. And suddenly there was German. And my first memory is that I'm screaming very loud because I was crying and I couldn't understand the German kids who were talking to me. This is my first memory. So I think that's where the vocal cords start to work also. Yeah. And I think that's actually a thing that always went on because I grew up in this really little village in Germany, and there I was super bored. My mom was actually always playing with me and my sister because the children were not allowed to play on Sunday, and it was very remote, very boring, sometimes very lonely, and I always had to cry about that, very sad. But then the neighbors called me like the siren. So they said because I had such a big organ already, they could hear it on the other side of the street. They could hear me when I was crying. And so the vocal thing with crying and now it's going to singing is always a topic in my life.
Cool. Nice bridge. But when did you started to sing? Do you remember? Was you, when you were little or afterwards?
Well, my family is very musical.
Okay.
So they were already busy with music when I was born. My dad is a flutist. My mom is a pianist. So they were always singing. But my sister is an opera singer. And she's 4 years older than me. And I really got into singing because she was into singing. And as a little sister, you always want to do what the older sister does. So when she started doing singing lessons, I think she was like 10 or something, then I wanted to go. So I was 4 years younger. I was like 6. So I went there too. So then we started singing together. And my sister, I think she hated it because then she had her little sister in the same singing lesson. But this is where it started. It's actually my sister's fault. She wanted to sing, so I wanted to do what she does.
Nice. How was the relationship? Did you work with her afterwards, or you just split? Did you do anything with her?
Well, that's actually really funny because we are both professional singers now. She's an opera singer. She works in Germany, and we started together. And then I went into pop music and jazz, and she went in classic. So I think a few years ago we did a song the last time for my parents, and then we played with it that I'm singing with my light voice and she sings with her like opera voice. But other than that, we never collaborated anymore. But we have kind of the same voice. We have we have the same vocal cords. We have kind of length of vocal cords, also the same range. But then she has complete different training than me. So it's very interesting. We should maybe do something about it. But we never did. No.
Nice. Do you feel jazz is about expression, inner expression? Do you feel you went to jazz to understand yourself?
I think that even when I was very young, I always was very nostalgic, and I love everything that is in a way old-fashioned. I just love nostalgia. And I was not like the 13-year-olds, you know, with their music. I was always very, very big fan of jazz. I went to jazz concerts with my dad when all the 13, 14-year-olds went to like pop music concerts. So I think it was more like I saw all these old movies and this Parisian style, and this was like my fascination, and jazz music belonged to that. So I think it got more from that aesthetics.
Okay.
And then for me, it's like a game, you know, singing jazz, because that's how I started, and you know it too, you as an amazing singer. Jazz is playing with all these little half notes and then these improvisations. It's more a game than every pop song or rock song or whatever. It's like it's really like playing for me. So I made like it was like a game to sing all these half notes and then do this impro and then try to uh, to mimic an impro of a trumpet, and I really liked that. So it was more that, I think.
Yeah, we had great time, you and George, doing this kind of nasal sounds all the time, and I think it's yeah. Yeah, you are amazing. Yeah, it's like playing for you.
Yeah.
That's very, very, very you. Nice.
Yes.
Being free in that kind of environment and free yourself in that kind of environment where music is with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And creativity also, I think it's, for me in my map, how I see things, it's totally different from opera. Of course there's emotion. You are very emotional, also very theatrical. I have to say, you're gonna tell people there, hello, I'm speaking in Portuguese, pessoal, toca a comentar, go and click it there, façam share, porque é importante. Este trabalho desta atriz cantora é incrível. Sorry. Going on. So you are very emotional. I think opera has all the. I think it runs in family. All this trying to with a body, and you are also with dancers and so on. You will kind of tell afterwards. But when you decided to go, did you have this conscience, or what you were like, what, 12, 14 when you went to study jazz? Of course you have the fascination going to movies with Papa, but then you decided, okay, now I'm going to be this, isn't it? So you decide to go to jazz. Just studying jazz is very hard, very, isn't it? So, and you like to be free. Was it hard for you to be that? Of course you play, but then you have to have these hearing studies and all this. How was it for you, this
I
double?
think it was difficult actually before I could go and study, because when I realized that I want to do singing, I was like, I think I was 14, 15, and I knew I'm going to study music, definitely. But I didn't want to study only jazz or singing. I wanted to study more. So I went to all these schools and looked, and then I found like the music theater department in the Netherlands. So back in my home country, because I was living in Germany at that time. But then the thing that made me really suffer was that I first had to finish my school to go and study there. And of course, audition and everything. but the I really like to be free, exactly, especially, well, in that period of time I wanted to, but for me the freedom came when I could study. When I went to the Netherlands, when I immigrated back on my own and I started to study music theater, for me everything was so easy. I didn't have to I didn't have to do math anymore and biology and chemistry and all these horrible subjects at school in Germany. I just wanted to graduate and go and do music. So for me, it was like freedom completely. Yes. I had nothing there. I just moved there to a tiny little room. My parents were living in Germany still, my sister. I was alone. I didn't know anybody. And I went to this artist academy and it was like,
Paradise.
I was such an alien and suddenly there's more people like me. Yeah.
Aha! Is it alien comes from that? You chose no.
Alien comes from a lot of times that I feel that I'm like zooming out on myself and I'm like, whoa, I feel so different from everybody here in the room. What is wrong with me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, well, I think that is the speciality, the taste, the spice, the salt. So that's who you are. I think all of us artists are a little bit. Sometimes we just want to be with equals. That is normal because it feels a little bit lonely, isn't it?
It's lonely, yeah. But that's why I love our family in Westway so much because they managed to put these people together. This is why I'm so like I love to have that around me because it makes me feel seen.
Yeah, because we all breed alien air. All of us, the nine of us, are really so out of the box.
Yeah,
Uh,
and for me, really inspiration.
yeah,
Really, you and Katarina.
mhm, brilliant. So you decided to study. You were free to do whatever you wanted to do, and then it comes the decisions. How to decide when there's lots of things
I can.
going on. How do you do that?
Oh, I am so bad at that. I mean, you see it already. I didn't study like one thing. No, I studied music theater, and that's already like movement theater and music. And then I didn't think it was enough, so I also started studying a minor jazz pop while I was studying music theater. So I'm very bad at it. Since I'm graduated, I did everything. I worked with a dance company, I worked with movies, and I worked in installations. I make pop music. I love to sing jazz. I I don't make any decisions.
That's very good. You just
No,
go
but
with the flow.
I try to. But if you ask me how do you make decisions, it's changing now. I made a lot of decisions in the mind in the past years, to be very honest. And I'm trying, not even trying to think about that, but I'm feeling what is first actually. And sometimes it's completely the opposite from what my mind wants. And I'm trying to listen more and decide more from the heart. And
Cool.
that changed me a little bit, but it also brings me, I think, closer to what I really want to do and who I really want to be. So,
Do you feel the audience noticed that change in your works?
that's a very good question. It's funny because I don't know if it's in my work because my music is changing all the time, and I think what I'm now busy making a new record, and I think it's getting so close to what I really am. It's even too vulnerable. I'm not even daring to like. It's like, okay, here's my heart. Now you know everything about me. So I have to take time to process that first until I release that. But I was performing last week and I felt a sort of, I'm very like worried that I can be very worried about like, is it fitting? Does the audience like it? Am I not too much? All this kind of stuff. And I was not really giving a shit about the show. Not that I didn't want to do a good show. I just felt like I'm just going to stand there and I'm just going to perform. And it happens since a month or like 1.5 months that I'm going on stage like that, like super, almost that I'm afraid. Why am I so calm? And I did this show, and I had a few friends, and I had Davey, my boyfriend, and my parents even were there. They were like, "Whoa, it's like it was such a good show. What is happening?" And for me, it was like, I think I'm starting to trust on what is there, and the I'm not giving a shit is, I think, very very good for me in a way, and that's something completely new. So
Perfect. Have you heard about this movie Soul?
no,
It's a movie for kids called Soul.
I heard about it. I think I need to see it.
Yeah. So I think you're going in this kind of phase that is very free. It's very nice for us creative people that we just get into another part, another zone called flow. The technique. It's you go to another dimension and you dissociate with the reality. All the work is done in rehearsal room, and then when you just take the architects and the personas that are normal, we all have that, and we go inside. We just go in there, and let that flow. If it is mistake, it's mistake. You just let it flow. If it is not a mistake, you just let it flow, and then suddenly you just lose yourself and go to another place somehow. It's not a question of responsibility, I think. It's the way our brain works. It's neurosciences. It clicks between the left and the right hemisphere. Goes there into a zone. We don't know exactly. It depends on the person. It just fires lots of places that should be the rest, the mind and the feeling, but it just melts and goes like that.
You know that too, right? You know exactly how that feels, right? When you go on stage.
I think I know.
I think that you turn into something, I don't know, which is not from this world when you go on stage. I saw it and I was like, whoa. You're like a fire. I don't know. There's something glowing. It's crazy.
Now you are finding your fire also. It can be it can be earth for you. It can be water, can be woods, can be whatever element. But you are understanding that, and that is beautiful, isn't it? People really understand in the other part, and it doesn't matter if I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't matter. It depends on the person. If it's going to be a really good success, money success, or lots of tickets sold or something, because that moment is encartole. I think encartole, the power of now. It just you are there.
Yeah.
I think the audience, I felt a lot with you that in the rehearsal room when I was there, and I just closed my eye, I just went, your voice really puts me somewhere else. And now you are yourself going there. That's beautiful. I wish you can. I will bring you here to Portugal to do your own gigs, and I can be in the audience feeling that truth, that loneliness, very warm and lovely loneliness. You all like to embrace everybody, and all this kind of fragility, but same way, very strong. It's like polarity with you all the time.
Yeah.
I think that's not an issue. That's not a problem. It's just you.
Well, it is very much this dish, 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 constantly.
Perfect. It really fills me. I'm a big fan. So, continuing, you have lots of influences also. You told me that you love jazz. You told me also, as a matter of fact, Louisa is not having so much time, so I couldn't give her yet your vinyl, your record, but I will tell you soon.
Actually, vinyl?
Vinyl,
Vinyl. I think it's vinyl.
yeah,
Doesn't
vinyl
matter. We
in
both don't.
Portuguese, vinyl. Uh, um,
That will
but
come.
tell me about your influences before you come to this place where you are. I think now your influences are melted,
Yeah.
melt. But before, how was your? Was Ella Fitzgerald? Was Salvador Sobral? Was who?
Well, from the very, very beginning, it was Sarah Vaughan, the
Okay.
jazz singer, because of the emotions, I think. And that's also something. I think jazz has a certain dramatic, like theatrical thing. They're like putting it out there. This is why I love also Portuguese artists, because they are daring to move their hands and like sing and have pain and let that out. And I miss that so much. Everything is like so much clear in a box and very, very easy to understand. It's only this emotion and that's what it is. And I think it's lovely that Sarah Vaughan could sing like a very happy song, and you heard all the drama in her life, in her voice, in this happy song. So that's a very big inspiration. And then when I started to study, I was a really big fan of Nina Hagen. She's a German punk rock
I know.
singer. Yeah, of course you know her.
99, your red balloon.
But she's crazy, and
I know.
and I loved that because it was the first time that I saw like more the northern Europe people going that crazy. And then I started to love Rammstein, and I love them till the day of today. And so this is really like my inspirations, because they are good at writing poetic stuff and putting it in a rock song and screaming on stage and letting all their emotions out. So that was basically why I thought I need to write my own stuff, and I need to do it without any boundaries. So this is yeah.
You are so good. So fucking good writer. Oh, yes. This girl, she did this amazing, huge lyrics in 3 days or something. I was like, what? How is it possible? It is possible. Did you always write I don't know, in a diary or something? How was it?
Always till the
Okay.
day of today. I write when my head is full, when I have difficult conversations, when I'm sad, when I feel pressure on my chest, when when I don't know what to do. I have a book and I always have it with me, no matter where I go, and I write. And I do it every morning, and I don't stop until my head feels more clear. And it's also the base of my lyrics. So it's something I don't really know what sometimes I'm reading it back. I'm like, oh, that's going on with me. Thank you. I didn't know that. So it helps me. I was already writing in diaries when I was 9 or 10, and I do it since then.
Ah,
Always.
yeah, and also very good storytelling. Every time you are on a journey, we are like connected with you. What she's going, Lenin is going to write some story about what she was living.
Yeah.
Was that also something inside of you in when you were in school, or you just developed afterwards? Was it natural for you to tell a story
I
in a
love
kind of storytelling, like you are connected to that? What? like a movie.
Yeah, for me, I want to see life as a big nostalgic movie.
Okay.
This is how I am. I didn't have it for. I think it is really because I had a lack of it when I went in Germany to school. It was all so not what I wanted to do that when I finally could, I was realizing I could form my own life. I was making it. I'm very romantic. I'm romanticizing everything. So this is also why I'm telling stories. And I want you guys to be a part of it. And I'm taking you in my poetry. It's like for me, look how life can be. It's like a movie, and you are all a part of it. I don't know. I'm, I'm
Yeah.
just very romantic.
Yes, I love it. I wish you write some book one day.
Yeah, I would
I
like to
wish.
write like a poem book, like a little. That I would like to do because I have, for example, I have a poem on all of you. I have I wrote on every one of you. I wrote a page. So maybe there's coming something.
I think with Rui Torrinha helping us, everything is possible.
Documentary.
We cannot say it still, but it's too soon. But
Yeah,
yes,
it's too soon.
yes, it is. But we have some news in few months. We can say
Yeah.
something. So about present, what have you been doing, and about future, what have you been doing? You're going to be doing.
Yes. At the moment, I just came back from Barcelona because Westway really changed everything for me. I went to see you. I
Mhm.
went to Hamburg to perform. I now went to Barcelona. I just came back, and I was working with Jorge Rocha on a music of mine, which I actually felt a little bit lost in. I don't know what to do with it. So I thought maybe I need some input from somebody new whom I really like. And I feel very connected to him. So we started working on the music, and I'm so happy with it. So we're going to probably work more on it. And what I'm exactly working on is I'm doing a lot of different little collaborations at the moment with different people from all over the world. And besides that, I'm writing my new record. And that is a play about friendship and about the fact you have family and family forms you, of course. But you also have the family you choose, and that's the friendships you have and you meet along the road. And this is also why I wrote poetry on all of you, for example. And this whole record is about friendships that break your heart, that make your heart feel more alive again. That, well, friendships can be so much more intense sometimes when they go over than, for example, a love relationship. Because with a love relationship, you sometimes you hold back a little, because it's also hormones and it's love. But with friendship, you're like, boom. So when things change, or it hurts even more, or um, they can be even more clear to you. And I find it very fascinating because for me, friends make me who I am. I'm nothing without them. I'm, I, I am them and they are me. So I wanted to bring an ode to that. So I'm going to write a record about that. I am
We have that in common. We have that in common. Definitely. That is beautiful to hear from you, the words, because you express so well. Beautiful. Yeah, definitely. I think friendship can build us much more when you are open for adventure, like you. You like to be a nomad and be everywhere and nowhere, and
yeah,
feel the heart, and feel the emotions up, not restrain the emotions, just feel it open, because just, and also because, like you told, you know that you have that moment with the with a friend. You don't live like in house, your mama and papa, when you are with them all day, 24/24.
yeah,
I think that's the game of it.
yeah.
So I am very curious about what you're going to give us as art and music is concerned. But theater and music is still going on.
Yeah. Besides working on my own music, I'm always doing like theater shows. I get hired as an actress, so now I'm going to do a big show here in Arnhem, where I live. It's going to be premiered next year somewhere. So I'm always doing like a combination. It's like sometimes I'm acting, and then I can pay my rent with that also, and I love it. And then I make my own music, and I see how I can finance that. So it's always the two. So I never chose.
That's good, because you are both. Why not?
Exactly.
You are both of it. And now tell me, sometimes things don't go as we expected. And we are trying to work on something. We have a big dream on this thing, and then suddenly collapse. I've been in career. How do you deal? What's your drive to continue and just not give up and goodbye? For instance, with the COVID and so on. How you managed to keep on with the drive and the steam to every day, let's start a new thing. What was your inner boost?
I think it was very difficult, but I always say this is the only thing that I can really be good at. I can't do anything else. I just can't. You can't shut the artist down. It's impossible. But I have to say, when it was like first pandemic, I thought maybe art will die forever. What if we are never allowed to work as artists anymore? What would I do? I asked myself, and then I thought, I'll probably, I don't know, I'd probably go and work with animals somewhere in the nature. And that's what I thought. But then I thought, okay, but I don't want to. I really want to be a musician. No, it was really difficult, and I really had to find ways. I was starting film projects because film was still possible. I was starting to write more at home. I was trying to like find it more inside of me, and I made the record out of it. The first one, which is very introvert also. But how I find the drive is really,
You just do it.
I need to, it's like telling somebody you can't express yourself anymore. This is my way of expressing myself. If I don't do it, I will be bitter. And very, very, very getting very old very early and sick. And I feel just if I don't do it, I will be bitter and ill and very old very early.
So you just do. It's not in the back of your mind ever. Yeah, I understand what you mean. It's like association, a total association of identity, of who you are and what you do every day.
It's identity. It is identity. So it is as if you would say to someone, you can't walk anymore or whatever. But it's you walk, or like you can't talk anymore. It's like my way of expressing. So it's impossible to not do it. So that's the drive, I think. I really can't do anything about it.
I can't. That's nice. Cannot do anything about it. I'm just me.
I'm sorry, but this is I have to do this.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm boring something, but I think it's very inspirational for everybody. For sure, for me, it is the way you see life as a romantic, as you told me, the way you see the reality is unbelievable, inspiring for me. Okay, because I can feel you, really feel you.
But I think that you are like that too. You are my inspiration.
We feed each other, and Katarina. We feed each other. And Meta it's the small girl with 21 years old. Yeah, the world is here. She's going to be here soon also.
I need these
Four
women.
sisters. Yeah.
Yeah.
The oldest and the youngest. Beautiful. So we can talk like forever. I wish we can do also a song. I have a project for all of us. I have a project. I'm just trying to. We'll talk afterwards.
Yeah.
We'll talk. You are good in financing. You and Katarina. Let's talk. I have some idea that I didn't have time to sit with you. It was last week.
Yeah.
It has to do with a female cant in Portugal. We'll talk about it soon. Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah. And tell me about this video clip you chose. It's alternative version.
Yes.
It's piano and voice. It's beautiful. I don't understand German, but I feel so much. Wow, what the lyric talks about it, please,
Yes.
and how it happened.
Well, I chose this one because it's the alternate version, and we made it exactly 1 year ago. And the weather at the moment is exactly this. When I look out of the window, it's exactly the weather. So you know a little bit. Well, you know it. You know the north very well. You know what the north brings. You know it's something very beautiful, but it's also very melancholic and sad. And I wanted to share exactly this because it's a year ago. And what talks Blauw about? Blauw I wrote when it was middle of pandemic and I could only look out of the window. I was traveling a lot and everything was open, and then suddenly we couldn't do anything anymore. So I was looking out of the window and I was like traveling in my mind, and I was traveling to the blue, and that's Naar Blauw. The whole record tells the story about being able to be free and to take the hand of your loved ones and drive in this really rusty old car to the sea and wash away what is all there, like all this energies and all the load you're carrying, wash it off in the ocean. You know the feeling when you go underwater and everything is suddenly like that, and then you feel like that feeling. That's exactly what the record is about. So Blauw is an an yeah an ode to the sea, to the ocean, to being free. Yeah.
Beautiful. Water is emotion. Water is laughing and crying. It's Eliën. Tell me about the name. You didn't tell. You said that you chose the name, but before we put on the video clip, I don't want to miss that opportunity. This opportunity. No. Why Eliën? Eliën.
Actually, a friend of mine came up with it because I couldn't choose, because I couldn't choose if I wanted to sing in German, in English, in Dutch, in French. I didn't want to choose what kind of music I wanted to make, if it's pop or jazz or like a little bit Germanish 80s punk. I didn't want to choose anything, and we talked about it, and then she said, "You're in music industry, you're going to be a fucking alien." And it felt like I feel like that, so let's do it. So that's how I came up with it, and then it became a whole thing that I'm like journeying around Europe, wandering as an alien, trying to connect to people, and that's really what I do as an artist. So it fits completely. I am roaming and searching, and that's Eliën.
It fits completely, definitely. So, and the Eliën has some people that work with all the time. Can you?
Yes, I have. Oh, I have Daniël van der Duim, and he's my producer, and he works all this music with me and goes everywhere where I go. And I'm very happy that he works with me so much. He's also the pianist on the video. The video is shot by Davy. That's my love, filmmaker and choreographer. In the video, we have Maarten. That's a very dear friend of mine who is like a terrific dancer. I only always work with people I love. I cannot work with people that I don't like. It's very unprofessional, probably, but I need to love them because
You're
otherwise.
not an alien. That's okay.
I only work. We are going to work together because we love each other. That's how it works for me. That's how it works. Nothing professional about that. Just love. So yeah. Well, and I mean that's a little bit it for the video. And besides that, everybody who is on the road with me, like people like you, who tell me go where you're going. It's fine. People I wanna.
Love you a lot. Love you a lot, baby. And now, meus amigos, vamos lançar aqui o final do episódio. Eu e Eleninha, que a gente trata por Leninha, estaríamos horas a falar como fazemos sempre que estamos a trabalhar juntas e no nosso dia-a-dia de criatividade. I'm going to put here all the links below with the work. Click it, tell good or bad, just give us the input. The episode is going to be everywhere, so I think Portugal will love this girl. I think the world will love this girl, but now Portugal will love this girl through this little space I created. Thank you for your time, my beautiful friend. I'm going to put here the video and saying the last bye-byes. I'm going to put you out. Don't be sad, but it's like this works. Okay, I'm going to. Okay, and both of us. And now 3, 2, 1. Bye bye, everybody. See you next Monday. Bye bye.
Staar voor me uit op de bedrand en kijk naar je kamer. Rokend op de rand valt mijn blik op de zee. Op een landkaart voor mijn neus die ik nooit echt bekeek. Een vlek op de A van Atlantische Oceaan. En het grauw van je behang vormt een wolk om in te zwijgen. En de rook van mijn buik vervaagt ons gemoed. En ik drijf even weg met mijn blik op het zand. Ik proef het zout van de zee. Ik zie ons stranden in het blauw. Zoek naar je hand in de hitte van jouw oude auto. Ruik onze huid door de zon aangeraakt. Met een landkaart die ik nooit echt bekeek. De droogte van de streek, de hitte van de zon wijst ons de weg. De nacht van het station was helder en eindeloos wijd. En ik proostte voor het eerst op iets dat ik nooit meer vergeet. En ik drijf even weg met mijn blik op het zand. Ik proef het zout van de zee. Ik zie ons stranden in het